Gaziantep, ne güzellik bu.
Mashallah, Gaziantep, how beautiful this is.
Samanyolu'nda dolaşıyoruz maşallah.
We are
İnşallah
wandering
2023'e
on
de
the Milky Way.
Samanyolu'yla
Hopefully,
birlikte
together
yürüyerek
with this
gideceğiz.
beautiful song, we will head forward for 2023.
Buyurun. Gaziantep teşkilatımızın kıymetli mensupları,
Valuable members of our
hanımefendiler,
AK Party organization in Gaziantep,
sevgili gençler,
ladies and
değerli
gentlemen,
yol arkadaşlarım, sizlere
dear
kalp
youngsters,
duygularımla,
my friends at COES, I would like to greet you all with the most heartfelt sentiments, love and affection.
Gazi şehrimiz Antep'te bulunmaktan sizlerle hasret
I'm very
gidermekten
pleased to be in our sacred city Antep and coming together with you.
vasıtasıyla tüm Gaziantep'e,
On this occasion, I would like to extend my gratitude,
saygılarımı gönderiyorum.
love and respect to the citizens of Gaziantep.
Bizleri büyük bir coşkuyla kucaklayan
First and foremost, I would like to thank my dear countrymen and the citizens who embraced us from the time that we have set foot in the city. From the airport until here, our Gaziantep brothers and sisters who filled the streets, we have come together with them and we had a chance to see their sincerity.
bir başka ve şu
Indeed, Gaziantep is very different today,
on binlerce Gaziantep
and
bizi bekliyor.
outside of this
Onları
cultural
fazla
centers,
bekletmeden
tens of thousands of citizens of Gaziantep is waiting us, so we don't want to keep them waiting any longer and we will meet with them.
İl danışma toplantımız vesilesiyle bizleri
On the
bir
occasion
araya
of
getiren
Gaziantep Provincial Advisory Council meeting, I would like to
Gaziantep
pray for God
teşkilatımızın
enabling us to come together in this meeting.
davamıza
I would like
hizmet
to thank
arkadaşlarımıza
and remember all our friends
fedakarlıkları sebebiyle
who contributed to our cause and served to our organization from the foundation of our political party until now, and may God rest the souls of our friends at cause who passed away.
şeref eylesin.
May their eternal place be heaven.
Yapacağımız eser ve hizmetlerin
Today we will carry out the opening ceremony of many masterpieces and services. May all those masterpieces and services be auspicious to our brothers and sisters in Gaziantep. I would like to thank all our institutions who contributed to the realization of those projects, and I wish them further success. Dear brothers and sisters,
yeniden Gaziantep
after 15 months,
bahtiyarlığı içindeyiz.
I once again came together with my brothers and sisters in Gaziantep, with which I'm very pleased. Of course, we love equally all our 81 provinces.
Evet, gençlik ilginç bir noktayı yakalamış.
Well, our youngsters
Gölgelerin üzerimize geldiği en
understood
zor
a very
zamanlarda
interesting point.
güneşin doğuşuna
We have witnessed thousands of times that the sun rises when the clouds are collapsing on us in the challenging times.
bize oy verse de vermese
It
de
doesn't matter whether they are voting for us or not.
kardeşimiz olarak
We
görüyor.
see every member of our 84 million population as our brothers and sisters, and we embrace them all. As we provide services to our cities and as we are solving their challenges, we are never discriminating among our provinces and cities. But of course, with its pioneering role and the stories of heroism, Gaziantep has a special place in our hearts.
Gazi ünvanıyla müşerref olmuş, dünyada
Antep
ilk ve tek
is the first and only city which was bestowed with the title of
ezan ve bayrak
being
uğrunda
veteran city
6317 yiğidini toprağa
in order
vermiş,
to protect the adhans and the flag of
istiklali ve istikbali
Turkey.
için
Antep
ağır bedeller ödemiş,
has lost
cefakar
6,317 of our citizens for independence. Antep paid a huge price. And as of 2002, Antep has embraced our sacred cause and walked with us for this sacred cause.
Antep'i Gaziantep yapan bu şehre ruhunu,
Antep
karakterini, asaletini veren
has
hasletlerin
undertaken
bilinmesi
its name as Antep due to its spirit and due to its values, and we should know these principles and values.
özellikle gençlerimizin anlaması,
1 century ago,
hafızalarına kazınması gerekiyor.
a huge resistance was given in these lands, in these territories, and our youngsters should really comprehend that. And I would like to call on the youngsters who are from the generation of Technofest. You are a very different generation, and
Devam ettirmeliyiz.
you should protect your uniqueness and you should improve yourselves until 2023.
Ben de sizlerle gurur duyuyorum.
And I'm proud of you.
Öncesi ve sonrasıyla Antep savunmasında yaşananları bakınız
First and foremost, we should know
nasıl
what
anlatıyor.
happened during the resistance coming from Antep, the Antep defense. The poet
Yalkalmadı
explains it as follows. The Frenchmen attacked on the city from all around the corner. Many of our brave men unfortunately died in the trenches. Where are my flowers? I am crying for Antep.
4 şehidi koydular.
They have
Mecruhlar
put one graveyard
hastaneye
for brave men. The wounded ones filled the hospitals, and
benim mor
they couldn't find a savior.
Antep
Where
diye
is
hazin hazin ağlarım.
the flowers? And I am crying on behalf of the citizens of Antep. The adhans are not heard from the minarets, and no one knows what is going on. There is no smiling faces among the brides and girls. Where are my gardens and flowers? And I am crying for Antep.
Evet. Herhalde zılgıtı bana atmıyorsunuz değil mi?
Well, I don't think that you are
Yerlere atıyorsunuz.
yelling against me.
Antep
So
gazilik payesiyle işte böyle çetin mücadeleler.
that's how Antep took the name of Gaziantep after such challenging resistance. And Gazi Mustafa Kemal
Şu şekilde
has
kelimelere dökülmüş.
explained his feelings for the resistance of Gaziantep with
Hiçbir
those
yerden
words.
maddi yardım görmeksizin
Without
kendi kahramanlığıyla
seeing any financial support from anywhere, this city with its own heroism saved itself, and that's why we are
her şehir
giving Gazi the veteran to the name of the city. Each village and each city of Turkey will remember the citizens of Gaziantep as an example of heroes. How can I not kiss all the brothers and sisters from the from their eyes, because they didn't only save Gaziantep, but they saved whole Turkey.
ezanı, bayrağı,
Today
vatanı ve
we
istiklal
are
uğrunda
standing
Mustafa'nın
for
gökte bir
a
işaret
flag,
veren
the
Antep'in
hands, and
işgalden
Gaziantep
kurtuluşunun
has lost
100. seneyi
25%
temsiliyesine ulaşmanın
of all
gururunu
population for
ve
protecting at
heyecanını
Hans
yaşıyoruz.
and the whole country. And we are very proud that we are celebrating the emancipation of Gaziantep after 100 years.
Kurtuluşunun 100. yıl dönümünde Şahin
On the
Bey'den
100 years anniversary of its emancipation from Şahin Bey to Karayılan to
kanlarıyla,
Özdemir Bey,
canlarıyla
all
Antep'in
the citizens of
savunmasına
Gaziantep,
kahramanları
all those
rahmetle
heroes
yad ediyor.
who lost their bloods
Antep
for
savunmasında
protecting
şehit
their
düşen
cities, I'd like to
6317
commemorate them.
kahramanın her birine
I
bir kez daha
once
Rabbimden
again
rahmet ve
pray to my
mağfiret
God
diliyorum.
that the
Rabbim
eternal
şehitlerimizin
place of
mekanlarını cennet,
6,317 of our martyrs during the
Rabbim bizleri
Gaziantep
son
defense,
nefesimize kadar
may their eternal peace
mübarek
place be heaven.
kardeşlerim,
May
bir
God
asır önce
never
şanlı bir
distract
direnişe
us from the
destan yazan Gaziantep,
sacred path
bugün
going
de
to
başta
heaven.
ticaret
Dear
ve
brothers
üretim
and
olmak üzere
sisters,
her alanda
Gaziantep
tarih yazmaya devam
is
ediyor.
writing another history in
Vatanımızın
terms of
tepesinde
industry and
işgal
economic
bulutlarının
development.
dolaştığı bir dönemde
During the times when the
nasıl mücadelesiyle
dark clouds of invasion
milletimize
was
umut
wandering
aşılamışsa,
over our head,
bugün de
with its resistance and standing against the enemy, Gaziantep injected hope to the hearts of all our citizens. But today, Gaziantep is becoming a role model to all our country with its character of being hardworking. As I was coming here, our women opened their shops, and they
bize ikram ettiler.
gave us all those dried fruits, and
Şimdi karşımda
those
onları
fruits were of high quality, and I see all of them and I congratulate them and I thank them all for their hospitality.
Gaziantep'in yatırımda, istihdamda,
In terms of investment, employment, production and export,
tümüyle inşallah büyümede
and hopefully in terms of the economic growth,
devam edecek.
Gaziantep hopefully will continue to be
Yardımseverlikte
a role model, an example for the whole Turkey.
ensar olmakta gösterdiği başarı
And Gaziantep was also successful in terms of opening its doors to the ones who are in need. Especially during the pandemic for the last 2 years, Gaziantep has
milletimizin gurur kaynağı oldu.
become the source of pride for all our nation. As you know, 15 months ago, in 26th of September 2020, I visited Gaziantep, and when I came to Gaziantep last year,
Yoğun bir şekilde hissediyorum.
we were feeling the challenges of the pandemic, just like any other country in the globe. In many of the countries, the economies shut down and people were present in their own homes. The lockdowns and the quarantines became the new normal back then, and there is a huge despair and pessimism and ambiguity all around the world. And as our nation was challenging with all those problems, the opposition parties were trying to aggravate the situation even further in order to abuse the situation rather than providing solutions to our people.
Maşallah. Hatırlayın. Siz
Remember those times
benim şarkıyı terör
when you were singing this beautiful song. The opposition parties were complaining and trying to destroy the morale of our workers and our producers and manufacturers. I am standing with you. Under the call of total lockdown, they forced our economy to shut down and they tried to disrupt our challenge and endeavor against the pandemic. So rather than showing solidarity with the government and sharing the challenges of our people, they opted for the politics of lies in order to gain additional votes. They try to use all the opportunities in order to defame Turkey and complain about Turkey to the foreign powers. And they have written letters to the grand ambassadors. What kind of a business could you have with the grand ambassadors? First of all, you should tell what your municipalities are doing. You should tell this to the nation. And you can see that the sewage systems are bursting everywhere, but at the end of the day they provide no service whatsoever. Rather than articulating the beautiful words whenever they are opening their mouth, they were criticizing the public prosecutors, the businessmen, the officers, the police forces of this country. They have such kind of a party leader who threatens these people. Rather than believing in the will and the infrastructure of this nation, they try to find the solution to those challenges in the deliriums of a couple of people or in the hotel lobbies from the representatives of IMF. On June 2013, we closed our deal with the IMF. We have written off this debt of $23.5 billion. When we came to power, the reserves of the central bank was $27.5 billion, but thanks to God, the foreign exchange reserves in the central banks reached to $120 billion. I'm not even mentioning their incapacities and their problems in terms of the administration in their municipalities. So the ones who are trying to cover their incapabilities by touting of disasters, we never listened to them, and we made use of our strong infrastructure in the most efficient way possible. With a flexible and unique model, we managed the pandemic process in the most efficient way possible. Dear youngsters, tell your friends this. During the coronavirus pandemic, there were the countries who couldn't find hospital beds where the COVID patients can lay down. But in Turkey, in Atatürk airport, we have constructed 2 new hospitals, with 1,050 bed capacity. One of them was constructed in Sancaktepe and the other one was constructed in Arnavutköy and the third one was constructed in Atatürk Airport. And we have also constructed Cham Sakura Hospital, which is a well-known example all around the world, and everyone was so impressed. And together with the Japanese Prime Minister, we have carried out the opening ceremony of the aforesaid hospital.
Ben sizlerle gurur duyuyorum.
I'm proud with you.
Ama Bay Kemal hala
But
şehir hastanesi nedir bunu bilmiyor.
Mr. Kemal still doesn't know what the city hospitals are,
Bize
and
bunun bütçede yerini göster.
he
Ya sen ne anlarsın
asks
bütçeden?
from
Ne
us
anlarsın
to
bütçe
show
kalemlerinden?
him its value in terms of the budget. But what do you understand for a budget and the items in our general budget?
Eğer çok merak ediyorsan
If you are really interested,
ziyaret et.
you can visit the Central Bank of Turkey. And he was always saying that the central bank is not independent. But if the central bank is not independent, then do you think that they would allow you to enter to the central bank? I mean, if you are allowed to the central bank, then it means it is an independent central bank. And the central bank gave you a briefing about the latest development unfolding, and you step outside and you are disclosing all the information being provided to you by the central bank, which should have been kept private. So you have no honor whatsoever.
Arkadan istatistik kurumuna gitmek
And
istiyorum.
thereafter, you would like to visit the Turkish Statistic Institute. And the Statistic Institute
Merkez Bankası
gave a wonderful answer to him and said that you have lost and you have failed in your exam. So there is no information that we would like to share with you. If you really want it, you can correspond with us via email. And then
Çünkü dürüst değilsin.
he went mad, and you will feel the same way because you don't have any ethics, you don't have the political ethics at all. So we are going forward with determined and committed steps together with our city hospitals. We are reaching out to all our citizens, and whenever our citizens are visiting those hospitals, they will have no challenges whatsoever in order to receive those services.
Değerli kardeşlerim,
Dear brothers and sisters,
burada malum
as you know,
3 yaşındaki, 4 yaşındaki Asiye yavrumuzu maalesef
unfortunately,
pitbull köpekleri
pitbull dogs
parçalama noktasına geldi.
almost
Ve tabii biz
tore
hayvanseverler
Asiye,
noktasında
who is 3 or 4 years old,
düzenleme
Max,
yapalım
apart.
yaptık.
And we
Ve şimdi tabii bu yasal
have come up with
düzenlemeyle
a legal regulation
bedel çıkıyor.
regarding to
Bu Asiye
the
yavrumuz
animal owners.
dün
But
gece
of course, this was the
kendisini biz
price
ambulans
that
uçakla
had been paid with
çok değerli
ambulance
kardeşim Ömer Özkan Bey
helicopter.
hastanesine
We have transferred
Üniversitesi'ne naklettik ve
her
orada
to
gerekli
Antalya
olan
University,
operasyonlar
and the necessary operations
yapılacak.
will be carried out.
Tabii ilginç olan bir şey var.
But there is one interesting
Şimdi
fact.
bu köpekler parası bol olanların köpekleri.
Well, those dogs are owned by the wealthy ones.
Ne oluyor? Ne gidiyor? Ne yapıyorlar? Şudur budur. Hiç böyle bir dertleri yok.
And
O yavru
they
orada
are not
paramparça
concerned at
oluyor.
all. I mean, this kid is
Hala bu
almost
adamlar
torn apart by this
acaba
dog. And
babasını nasıl aldatırız? Nasıl
those guys
kandırırız?
are
Bunu
still
gayret
trying
ediyoruz.
to deceive
Kandıramayacağız.
her father, but you will not be
Bunların
able
da
to
bedelini
deceive
ödeyeceksiniz.
her father, and you will pay the price.
Ama biz de anneyi de babayı da
But
yavruyu da inşallah
hopefully,
elimizden gelen tüm hassasiyetle
we will do our best
en ideal
with
şekilde
all our sensitivity
ülkemizde de dünyada da parmakla
and we
gösterilen
will entrust
doktorlarımızla inşallah
our kit
tedavisini
to the
yaptıracağız.
doctors
Hep birlikte dua edelim.
who are
Asiye
well known
yavrumuzun
by the whole
inşallah
world. Let's pray
kurtarmasını
together and hopefully we will save our
babasını da
kit, Asiye.
kapıcı olarak çalıştığı o yerden
And
alıyoruz ve onu da
her father
inşallah
will not be
çok daha ideal bir yere
working
inşallah
anymore as
çalışmak
the
üzere sevk
doorman, as the janitor of the place that he had been working, and he will start working somewhere else where he deserves. Despite all the challenges that we had to endure, we never made our citizens asking for the state, and we will never ever do that.
Türkiye ekonomisinin ayakta kalması, üretimin kesintisiz
In order
sürmesi,
for Turkish economy to
istihdamın
survive
koruması
and stand on its own feet, and in order to protect our employment and ongoing manufacturing, we have taken the necessary measures. To our SMEs, to our tradesmen, and to our businessmen and industrialists, we have provided them many support packages so that we have stood by them. And with our social aid packages, we attach significant importance so that the segment of our society from the low socioeconomic background could survive on its own feet. While the opposition parties thought that the IMF will be the solution for the economic problems, we believed in the productivity and the infrastructure of our country and our cities like Gaziantep.
belirsizliğin hüküm sürdüğü o günlerde sadece
While the ambiguities prevailed back then, only in the Gaziantep we have carried out the opening ceremonies of 300 new factories whose investments led to 15 billion Turkish liras. With those investments, we have provided the employment opportunities directly to 45,000 of our citizens and indirectly to 100,000 of our citizens. From Istanbul to Ankara, from Kocaeli to Antep, we have continued with new investments. We have opened new roads, new highways, and new energy facilities, so that without taking into consideration the current conditions, we have never sacrificed from investment, exports, and production. Dear brothers and sisters, politics require from you to take important decisions during the challenging times, and the duty of the politicians is not to save his or her own position, but to serve his or her nation. The ones who are focusing only on the current times will never be able to see the opportunities which are opened in front of them for the future. That's why I am saying that the politics is not about saving the day, but politics is about saving the upcoming 25 years or saving the upcoming 100 years for this nation. So once again, I would like to remind you that rather than listening to the dirty propaganda of the opposition parties, we should work day and night, because once again we realize that the decisions that we have taken so far was very meaningful despite the propaganda of the opposition parties, and the data confirms that as well. In 2021, Turkey is one of the two countries who had the economic growth. As the global economy shrank by 3.4%, we grew by 4.8%. In the first quarter of 2021, we grew by 7.2%, in the second quarter by 20.7%, in the third quarter we grew by 7.8%. As a result, we outdid our performance. And this year we believe that our growth rate will reach to double digits. with our export reaching to 221 billion Turkish liras, had a groundbreaking record. And in the field of tourism sector, we have compensated our losses with comparison to the previous year. And I believe that the next year will be a brighter year for our tourism investors. As the investments have come to the point of halt, our country is still attracting new investments. With our organized industrial zones, with our facilities, we are working day and night. So we are producing, and those facilities and factories are also exporting. Especially Gaziantep, with its production, with its employment and export. Just like 100 years before, Antep is once again writing the history. The products with the tag of Made in Turkey is going to 175 different countries and finding its place on the aisles of shops and markets. Dear youngsters, I'm proud of you. It would never be enough how much I'm proud of you. Every passing day, Gaziantep is outperforming itself in terms of production, in terms of employment, in terms of investments, and its capacity is ever growing in that regard. Do you know what will be the export figure as of this year? It is expected that the export figure for Gaziantep will reach to $12 billion at the end of this year. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone who works in order for Turkey to grow economically. In the upcoming years, we are expecting better success stories from Gaziantep and higher levels of endeavors. In the access of employment, investment and export, this new economic growth model will be an example for Turkey, and I am certain that Gaziantep will reach to its targets. Hopefully, during this process, we will continue to stand by our brothers and sisters from Gaziantep, and we will extend any sort of support whatsoever to the city. Dear brothers and sisters, even those figures which I have summarized shows the difference in terms of the mentality between AK Party and the opposition parties. Opposition party has no vision whatsoever, which we have observed once again during this process. They have no concern of serving to this nation, and they have no dreams for the future of this country. They are only spreading lies, and they are trying to defame and insult others. And that's how they are protecting their positions, by standing to the foreign powers to which they own.
Şanlıurfa'da ne diyor? Şanlıurfa Belediyesi'ni bize verin, elektriği size bedava verin.
Şanlıurfa. What they say for Şanlıurfa, give us the Şanlıurfa municipality, we will give you the electricity services free of charge. Well, how desperate this man is. He has no idea who is producing the electricity. The municipalities have no business whatsoever with producing electricity. The municipalities are paying for electricity to the Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources.
Arkadaşlarımız gayet güzel bir şey söylediler. Dediler ki,
Well, our friends
Adana'da senin belediyen var.
said something
Hadi buyurun.
very appropriate. You have the municipality in Adana. Adana is one of our city filled with farmers. Let's see, give electricity free of charge to our farmers in Adana, if you can. These are only lies.
Kendi çıkarları ve ikballeri uğrunda
for the sake of their own interest. There is no value whatsoever that they are not going to trample on. That's why we are not expecting any auspicious words or services for our nation from them. So, as long as they are not casting any shadow in front of our path, it will be more than enough. So, with this responsibility that we are aware of, we are working day and night for the realization of our targets. There was wildfire in Antalya. You have the Muğla municipality and you also have the Antalya municipality. What did you do so far? Did you do anything? No. All those houses which are burned down have been reconstructed again by us, and we have reconstructed the whole infrastructure, and we are still doing it. Izmir, isn't it the city from which Mr. Kemal became an MP? Dear brothers and sisters, in the region where the natural disasters took place, who built the houses? We did. And we have already given the keys of those houses to their owners. 750 of them have already taken their keys, and approximately 3,000 of new houses will be built and will be handed over to their rightful owners. So we, rather than articulating words, do the deeds and actions, as we have put our marks to the last 20 years of Turkey with our masterpieces and services. Hopefully we will leave our mark to the future of our country on the basis of solidarity, brotherhood, democracy and welfare. We will bring and carry Turkey to brighter futures. You should have no doubt the rising star of the 21st century is Turkey. With the God's willing, no one will be able to prevent this country from rising up. What the poet says, brave men do not fall into despair, the time is standing on our side, and the last decision will be standing on our side. Even if the whole world is our enemy, then the fate is standing on our side. Take a look to the horizon, brave men. We are getting closer to this revolution. Are you ready for it? As we are heading forward to the 2023 elections, I'm expecting from you to work with this commitment. You shouldn't leave any house whose doors are knocked on, and you shouldn't leave any brothers and sisters in Gaziantep with whom you have never spoken. The youth branches, the women branches, all together we will work day and night. All the investments and the masterpieces and the services that we have come to fruition within the last 20 years will be the topics that we will tell our citizens one by one. We will foil the policies of lies of the opposition parties by telling the truth, and we will never allow them the opportunity to destroy our solidarity on the basis of differences in terms of ethnicity or religious sect. So we should love each other for the sake of our Creator, for Allah. So we shouldn't love each other for our own self-interests, for positions or money. We should love each other for the sake of our Creator.
Gaziantep'li kardeşimizin derdiyle dertlenecek.
And we should be concerned with the problems and the challenges of our brothers and sisters in Gaziantep, and we should do our best to stand with them in their good and bad days. When we accomplish it, hopefully we will prevail in 2023 general election and 2024 local elections. The victory will be ours. At the end of the day, we should show some endeavor, and God will honor us with the victory. May God open our way forward. I believe in our women branches and all the AK Party organization in Antep. Are you ready? With a great level of excitement, let the whole Antep hear. One nation, one flag, one homeland, one state. We'll become one. We'll become firm, and we'll become brothers and sisters. All together, we'll become Turkey. With these thoughts in my mind, once again, may Gaziantep Provincial Advisory Council meeting be auspicious for our city, for our political party, and for our nation. I'd like to thank all my brothers and sisters for their endeavors, for their labor, for their loyalty from the times of the foundation of our political party. I would like to commemorate our martyrs who made those lands our homelands. Once again, I'd like to greet you all with love and affection. Stay healthy and safe.
Konuşmaları için çok teşekkür ediyor ve Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımızı bir müddet daha sahnede misafir ediyoruz. Günün anısına hediyelerini takdim etmek üzere AK Parti Gaziantep İl Başkanımız Sayın Mehmet Eyüp Özkeçeci'yi sahneye davet ediyorum. Ve yine hediyelerini takdim etmek üzere Gaziantep Büyükşehir Belediye Başkanımız Sayın Fatma Şahin'i sahneye davet ediyorum. Buyurunuz lütfen.